Did you know that Donald Trump's Project 2025 plan can change your life? Did you know that policies made in government can directly impact the quality of your education, healthcare, and safety in your community? It's pretty wild to think about, right? Many of us go about our daily lives without realizing how much politics influences everything around us. In this video, you will explore how politics shapes the daily lives of individuals in communities of color and why it matters. I promise you'll walk away with a deeper understanding of the connection between politics and our everyday experiences. So let's get started. Many people feel like their voices just don't matter when it comes to voting or local decision-making. This leads to a lack of representation in government, which means that the interests and needs of these communities often get overlooked. Additionally, there's unequal access to resources. For instance, think about schools. In many communities of color, schools are underfunded and overcrowded. And it's not just education, it extends to healthcare, housing, and even public safety. Now let's look at policing practices. In numerous communities of color, there are issues with over-policing and racial profiling. These experiences affect not just public safety, but also the mental health and well-being of residents. When people feel unsafe in their own neighborhoods, it can be tough to thrive. The policies put in place can either uplift communities or push them further into hardship. It's crucial to understand this connection. What's Project 2025? Project 2025, a conservative initiative with goals related to government restructuring and policy implementation, has raised concerns about potential negative impacts on communities of color. Here are just a few of their plans. Reduced voting access, stricter voting laws. Cutbacks in social programs, reductions in funding for programs like Medicaid, SNAP, and housing assistance. Educational disparities. Changes in education policy, including reduced funding for public schools and support for private schooling. Also reduce access to higher education. Changes in student loan policies and reductions in funding for minority-serving institutions could limit access to higher education for students of color. Healthcare inequality. Repealing or weakening the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare. Criminal justice reforms. Rolling back criminal justice reforms will lead to higher incarceration rates among communities of color and policing policies. Policies promoting aggressive policing tactics could lead to increased police violence against people of color. Immigration policies. Stricter immigration enforcement will lead to increased fear and instability among immigrant communities. Trump's Project 2025 plan is a clear example of how certain policies can have a negative impact on communities of color. Reducing funding for education, healthcare, and housing assistance can further widen the gap of inequality, making it even more challenging for these communities to thrive. Consider the story of a young girl named Maria, who dreams of being a doctor. She attends a school with outdated textbooks and minimal resources. Meanwhile, her peers in a neighboring district have access to advanced placement classes and the latest technology. This gap isn't just unfair, it's a systemic issue rooted in political decisions made long ago. So it's clear that politics plays a huge role in shaping our daily lives, especially in communities of color. From education to public safety, the decisions made by elected officials can either help or hinder the progress of these communities. It's essential for us to be aware of these issues and engage in the political process to advocate for change. Call to action. Now I want to hear from you. Share your own experiences in the comments below. Have you seen how local politics affect your community? And don't forget to check out my other videos on related topics. Together we can learn and make a difference. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Support the channel, subscribe, like, comment, and share.